Hey, this video is for Savage Institute. Don't worry, I'm not going to sing. I believe it's important moving forward in our conversation about these things pertaining to Trump that you understand how deeply I despise President Donald Trump. And I'll also tell you why. And you can correct me or attempt to correct me or give me your point of view. I would appreciate your point of view because I think that will help us get through this. So, reason why. I liked Donald Trump at first. And like a jackwagon motard, I was very, very excited when he appointed General Mattis to the position of Secretary of Defense. I felt that the warrior monk was going to bring a level of balance and precision and victory to that administration, the likes of which that we would never have seen before. I know you're going to have to believe me when I tell you, I know people who know General Mattis. My best friends met him personally, and it's just the coolest story that I'll see if I can remember to have him share it. You just wouldn't believe it. There are stories of every year when I'm actually on Facebook, I share the Christmas story of when Mattis relieves the officer of the day, so that even though he was, I think he was the base commander, but he went and he relieved the officer of the day so that he could go home. The officer of the day could go home and be with his kids on Christmas. General Mattis was key and responsible for maneuver warfare, the things that saved lives when we invaded Iraq. Now, please don't misunderstand. I'm not saying that it was the right thing to invade Iraq, the wrong thing to invade Iraq. That wasn't his role. That's not the role of those people. When, for those of you who don't know, when the civilian bosses, Congress or the president or whatever, mandate certain things, it's not our military's role to necessarily deny that. Otherwise, we're just a tin pot military dictatorship. Mattis was an innovator of fourth generation maneuver warfare. He bridged the gap. If you've either read or even watched the series Generation Kill, I recommend you read it. It's in the Rolling Stone. It's really, really cool. Offers a lot of insight to those Marines and their perspectives. And Generation Kill, I don't know if you know it, but I'm going to tell you anyway, is required reading for Marine Corps officers so that they can have insight into their enlisted personnel. But I digress. Point is, I trust that man, and I would trust that man with my life. If you read General Mattis's resignation letter, if you listen to Trump calling Mattis Mad Dog, which he asked to not be called Mad Dog. That's not his call sign. General Mattis's call sign is not Mad Dog. Let me repeat that. General Mattis's call sign is Chaos. The reason General Mattis has a call sign of Chaos is because it stands for Colonel has an excellent solution. Colonel has an outstanding solution. I'm sorry. Colonel has an outstanding solution. Understand now. General Mattis's resignation letter, combined with us withdrawing support in North Iraq for the Kurds, people that have fought, bled, trusted us to be there, not unlike the Afghanistan situation that Trump later on politicized and turned into a partisan issue when it was the other administration doing it. Friends have died over a decision that he made. So for that, I hold Trump personally responsible for betraying my friends. Furthermore, DC riots, mostly peaceful. There's a, fast forward a few years later, there's a mostly peaceful protest going on in Washington, D.C. There is a set curfew. There is areas set up authorizing protest. And Donald Trump unilaterally chooses to physically leave the White House. He unilaterally physically chooses to leave the White House on foot, to walk to a church, so that he can hold up a Bible, which, from what my reading is, wasn't even his own Bible. He had to borrow it from, I can't remember who it was. It wasn't Mike Pence either. So that he could stand next to it for a photo op, holding it up, which I saw as nothing more than to be an appeal to the so-called moral majority, the Christian right. Meanwhile, civil rights violations, according to reports, occurred as his security personnel had no choice but following presidential orders to move the security bubble. And as this, let's just be generous, as this 100-foot swath of security, some of the best in the world, just made this path to this church so that we could get a picture holding up a Bible. I find that distasteful. I find that insulting. I find that insulting to the people that walk the box to protect the office of the presidency. And I feel that that demonstrated an abuse of the office of the presidency. Historically speaking, and I don't have a link to the article, but I believe it was Jimmy Carter actually pulled the same shit, similar shit when he became president. He was in the office getting his presidential brief, and they were talking to him about his transportation movement, how he can go, how he can get anywhere he wants to, happens at a moment's notice. And then Carter says, all right, I want Marine One here right now. I want to go somewhere. Like, just immediately like that. Now, there was such a scramble. So much preparation had to be made. All these people, the swath of protection had to be set up. The Marines and airmen who maintained the craft now had to make the mad scramble. Like, literally, it was akin to a, there's no other word for it other than scramble. Again, unnecessary, an abuse of office, demonstrating a lack of understanding of what it is to be the commander-in-chief. There's presidents that are good at things, but I believe most of them are unworthy to be the commander-in-chief. And I count Trump among those who are unworthy. Thank you for hearing me out. Look forward to more videos from you, Savage, and everybody else. And I hope that offers some understanding to people as to why popular culture obviously gives different reasons and excuses from weakness on down. But my reasons for disliking Donald Trump as an individual are deep and personal. So, again, thank you.